What happened to the cookout? It's a question I've seen online asked for years. And growing up in the early 90s and 2000s, we used to use any excuse to get outside and throw a barbecue. My stepdad was the pit master, my mom and my aunts would do the sides, and I would go upstairs and beat everybody in Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. Now, I'm from Oklahoma and I currently live in North Carolina, and I could get into all the different styles of barbecue and what the cookout actually means and how that can look in different parts of the country and which state has the best barbecue. That, however, would be a sidebar. What did happen for me and tons of other millennials is after I went to college, grew up, got married, had kids, the frequency of the cookout started to slow down. So, what exactly happened? There are two primary factors, and both of them are driven by economics. The first one is the price of groceries. The price of groceries, and especially meat, has skyrocketed since 2019. You can see on the screen now how much it is costing for meat, and the more that you are paying for food, the smaller that the invite list gets. And in fact, it also changes the menu too. For example, most people will tell you that brisket is the top tier item in barbecue, but you saw that beef was also the most expensive item. I haven't made a brisket in years because a brisket that would feed the family of four, just the four of us, was $200. And that was about a year ago. So all the beef items now become pork items. And when pork becomes more expensive, then you go down and switch to chicken. And if you don't have a ton of people who are willing to chip in, then you start cutting invites. Homeownership is a factor we don't talk about because it's the thing that most people forget. Because if you are going to grill and do so consistency, you need practice and you need space. How are you going to do that if you do not have a home? The issue, though, is that the average homeowner is nearing 40 years old. I'm 36 now and got lucky because I bought my home in 2021. But home ownership has become a lot more difficult for this generation for reasons that I've covered on this page, my YouTube channel, newsletter, and everywhere else. In fact, I'm even writing a book, Your Parents Are Wrong About Money, that talks about home ownership and a whole bunch of other things that have happened for this generation specifically. Now, with all those changes, you have to ask yourself, well, what is it that we do now? Here are a few options and strategies. The first one is, lean into community and split costs as much as you can. One of those is if one of y'all in the group has a Costco membership or BJ's membership or a Sam's Club membership, share it with somebody. So that is one way in buying in bulk. That is going to make it a lot cheaper and a lot easier on everybody else. Everybody gets wings. That's what we are doing for this specific cookout. And obviously that is something, again, that's a lot less expensive.
They didn't even break a sweat. They just out of their khakis. Khakis, long sleeves, and they just listening to Kimberly get food.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even mean to do it. It just, I was trying to turn it around. So those are my thoughts on what happened to the cookout. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below. This is a very new format and style for me. Also, hit the like and subscribe button and subscribe to my newsletter where I break down things like this every 2 weeks at buildingbread.com/news.